excited for you to dive into the session that's about to get started with this speaker, and it's going to happen in just a second. But before we do that, we wanted to really quickly remind you that you need to grab your All Access Pass, and you can do that right below this video.
Yeah, if you want to be entered into the biggest giveaway of all time with loads of winners and receive exclusive goodies from speakers and sponsors, then you need to grab your All Access Pass below.
Yep, and guess what? Best news, it's the lowest price it's ever going to be right now today, and it's going to be going up very soon. So if you want lifetime access to all of the amazing sessions, breakouts, keynotes, everyone you've missed, and the buttload of goodies that you're going to get inside of that giveaway if you win, you're going to want to snag that All Access Pass.
Yeah, so grab it before you lose energy or motivation. And you need to start implementing these things in your business. So we're going to give you access to this forever so you can come back to it, refer to it when you need, and you've got it for the future, for life. Everyone else loses access in 24 hours, but by you snagging your All Access Pass, you can come back and revisit this content anytime you want. So keep it forever by clicking below and snagging your pass.
So thank you for being here. Now it's time to get your notebook ready, a fresh pencil sharpened, your coffee, your wine, your kombucha, it doesn't matter. Settle in and let's dive into this session.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another amazing session of the Boss Project Summit brought to you by Boss Project and our good friends at Dipsato. We're so excited to get started in this next session, but before we dive in, Emily, tell us a little bit more about the speaker.
Yes, we are bringing back our friend Nicole. Welcome. We are super, super excited to have you here. Nicole Yang is a graphic designer and art director with a decade of print and digital design under her belt. So when she knows her stuff, she knows her stuff. And she's coming today to chat with you guys all about lessons learned from going from full-time employment to solo business ownership, which I know is a question so many of you guys have. You're going through it right now. You're thinking about going through it. So I think hearing about all of these lessons will get you set off on the right foot. But before we get started, we have some attention that you need to be looking at underneath this video. Abby, what is it?
Yeah, so you're going to be wanting to grab her freebie, which is below, as well as grab your All Access Pass. All the buttons are right below this video. And then next to this video, you're going to find some social links where you can hang out with us and the speaker and learn more about what Nicole has to offer online, which is awesome. Now, before we jump
social,
yeah, we gotta do some picture taking. Okay,
we're bringing back our awkward boomerang selfies. So right now, pull out your iPhone, head to Instagram, click that boomerang button, and we're gonna do some fun poses for you. So if you're ready, Nicole, are you ready? Do you have your boomerang pose ready?
Oh yeah, I'm always
ready. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know.
We only do that awkwardness because we love you guys. And so we want you to boomerang that, post that on Instagram. Be sure to tag us at Boss Project and tag Nicole. Nicole, what's your Instagram handle?
My handle is Nicole, N-I-C-O-L-E-A Yang.
Perfect. Tag us both so we can see it and we know that you're watching, and be sure to take notes of some good key takeaways that you're getting from today's session because we want to hear about them. I know Nicole wants to hear about them. So Nicole, if you're ready, how about you give us a hello and just give the listeners a reason why they need to snuggle in, buckle down, and listen to this session.
Yeah, guys, let's snuggle together. I'm so excited. I'm going to be talking all about lessons that I learned going from full-time to solopreneurship. And this might sound like some fluffy stuff like set some office hours and stick to them. But no, we're going to get deep and we're going to get dirty. I'm going to tell you all the things that I learned about working as a part of a team and why it's helped me and how I think it can help everyone else develop a really unique position in their marketplace. So even if you've never worked as a part of a team before, there are going to be some really great takeaways about how to make sure that you stand out and offer the best service possible.
Awesome. Well, if you're ready, let's get started.
Let's do it. Hi everyone, I am pumped to talk to you guys about the lessons that I learned going into solopreneurship. When I left my 9-to-5 job, I was so worried about how to compete in a marketplace of other solopreneurs and other freelancers, especially when I had just come from a team that supported me, who always provided feedback for me, and who I could lean on so that we could be stronger together. My full-time job was challenging, but I felt safe there. I knew that as a team, we could accomplish anything. I felt confident in our products and confident in the security of my job. Plus, I just knew what to expect every day. But like you guys, I also knew that there was something missing from the marketplace, and it was something that I could contribute. I felt like my services were actually needed, and I was really intrigued by the idea of doing things my way. Plus, there was so much growth available to me as a freelancer, just by virtue of working with so many different types of clients who had different styles and different needs. I had been working with and surrounded by small business owners for years, so I felt like I had an inside look into this world before diving in, and I had a pretty decent idea of what to expect, I thought. But the most rewarding and the most profitable lessons I learned from going solo were not exactly what I was expecting. Most solopreneurs talk about soft rules and guidelines for making your work life more enjoyable. Things like employing really strong boundaries with your clients, finding your people or your tribe, getting outside every day, taking care of your body and your mental health, because after all, your brain is doing the work of an entire organization now, right? And the benefits of saving money for retirement or for those slow months that might happen as a freelancer. Those things are important too, like really important, guys. But today I actually want to talk about some actionable ways that you can stand apart from the pack just by employing some basic tactics that you would use in a full-time position as a part of a team. The things that most solopreneurs aren't talking about because they're not employing them at all. So here's a little bit about me and why this topic is so important to me. I'm Nicole Yang. Hi again. I am a graphic designer and an art director. So I help business owners by providing brand art direction, design services, and design education. And before owning my business, I spent 8 years at Southern Weddings Magazine and at Cultivate What Matters. And in my time there, I saw these companies grow from fledgling small businesses to big multi-million-dollar businesses. While I was there, I got to design our annual wedding magazine. I worked with hundreds of ad clients to produce their creative. I created a product line for 2 branches of our businesses that turned into their main revenue streams. And I interacted with hundreds of small business owners who came to us for inspiration, motivation, partnership, and collaboration. Now, growing a business from the bottom up, I've been the person hiring and I've been the person hired. And I saw so many business owners and freelancers struggle to make a first impression or to find a place in the online market. So that brings me to our goals for us today. I want to talk about the values that are employed in a 9-to-5 position that are often overlooked or devalued, especially in a solopreneur workspace. And then I want to give you some examples that can demonstrate how you can stand apart from the pack, zigging where others zag, and making you better at serving. Then I want to show you how you can save your time and effort in growing, even if it sounds counterintuitive, by doing some of these things. The funny thing about the solopreneur space is that it makes us think that we should follow a prescription for business. First step, start your service-based business and then kill it. Start automating things, delegating to new team members, and then prioritizing your efforts in order to grow. And then start teaching or making products as passive income so that your business can run without you and you're not strapped to your desk all day and shackled to your clients. And then you get to build a coaching empire that makes you millions because you're a thought leader and a smart-ass business bitch. That sounds pretty stinking amazing. But here's what I think is missing from the formula, and bonus, this is also the thing that makes you unique and able to run your business your way, the way you always envisioned you would. What's missing is a connection to the problem that you're solving. Have you ever been in a 9-to-5 job and your boss is on your back handing down orders from above and you think to yourself, this person has no idea what's going on. If I were running this business, it would be so much more efficient because I actually know the work that we're doing on a daily basis. And I know the pain points and I know how to leverage our energy more efficiently. I should be the boss. And now you're that business owner. Now you're that boss. You might be thinking that because you're both the boss and the employee in your business, you've got it covered. But what we've got to be careful about is becoming the boss of your area of expertise in your clients' businesses, and then having your clients become dissatisfied with your rulings because you haven't taken the time to get to know their problems. So be careful not to separate yourself from the team too much. Here's what the hang-up is. Often, part of the freedom in running your service-based business is that you can serve businesses from 9 to 5 and then walk away, or from whatever office hours you have and then walk away. You don't have to worry about being on call during a sale. You don't have to worry about their team culture and going on team building exercises with trust falls. All of this is true, and it's all a part of the solopreneur culture that I would love to keep intact. But what starts happening is that we also start believing in a few lies along the way. Some things like, it's easier for us as a service provider not to be a part of a team because we don't have to deal with all the problems outside of our purview. Or, it is more efficient for us not to be a part of a team because we're not negotiating with other team members and resources and waiting on others just so that we can get our job done. Here's another lie. It's more profitable for us to not act like a part of a team because then we can streamline our work and automate more of our tasks. All of this is kind of half true and half a lie, but what this means for us is that mostly we're just working in a vacuum. We're providing a service that we actually have no proof is actually working. We're becoming disconnected from the problem that we're trying to solve. Now you might say, but my clients are so happy about the work we did together. This might absolutely be true, but I'm imploring you to make sure. The truth of the matter is that no one is going to bash you to your face. Thank goodness. Most clients are eager to leave feedback, but they often feel bad about providing any kind of criticism. I mean, do you guys know how many feedback forms I send out every year? I don't just ask for a testimonial and general feedback. I ask them to rate every single part of our project, from the timeline, the communication, the value, all of that stuff. And here's what I've learned just in poring over their responses and getting a ton of feedback from a ton of different types of business owners. So here's the thing. Are you asking the right questions? And are you putting yourself in a position to learn what your client actually needs? Or are you putting up all these boundaries that you think you need to have? All the lessons I'm about to share with you will help you determine what your client really needs from you so that you can provide a service that knocks it out of the park. Learning these lessons and employing them in my business has been the number one way that I've stood out from competition. They're the reason my business philosophy can be do good work and we won't have to play the marketing game. Here's the first one. Love the one you're with. When we think about growth, we're often focused on the new and the more. But at a 9 to 5, part of getting more rewarding work and growing in your position often means working on your relationship with your teammates instead of jumping from job to job or quitting when things don't go your way. It also means investing in customer retention. It is so much cheaper, you guys, to maintain a client than to work to gain a new one. So these strategies aren't going to be focused on learning a new skill or finding the best way to crack the Instagram algorithm, although we all know that that is so important and ever elusive. These are going to be ways to find joy in your services and joy in serving so that your clients stay and they get to find other clients for you and you get to sit back and just do the work that you love. After all, word of mouth leads are usually the most qualified leads anyway, so let's spend more time giving people something to talk about. Loving on your current clients means that you get a long-term view of their needs and you get to see where they are experiencing friction or pain points in their journey. Often what happens when we work with clients on single projects is that we don't hear what doesn't work for them, whether it's a workflow hiccup or a way of communicating that doesn't quite jive. They're not telling you what's going on because they're not that invested in you either. Your working relationship might be done in a week or a month. They're only going to bring up a problem that needs to be fixed later on in your relationship when you have some of that relationship equity. And if they experience a pain point and don't say anything because they know it won't come up again, because they won't talk to you after a week, you'll never know that there was a part of your process that wasn't nailed down and flawless. I want you to keep in mind, there will always be clients who you don't want to stick around and who are truly just not the right fit for you. For any number of reasons, we're not going to judge. But you have to use your best judgment here and know that it's okay to let go of some relationships. But also keep in mind, investing in people makes it more likely that they will invest in you. Prepare clients to work with you. We hear a lot about boundaries and office hours, but I want to take this a step further. Instead of stopping at setting up our boundaries, let's work on setting up expectations for everyone. The bonus here is that this makes it all about your client. It makes it all about them and not about you. So your client ends up feeling like they are better served by you. When I first started out, I thought I would be working 7 billable hours every day. The reality is that I'm lucky when I get to 5. Administrative tasks and business-related tasks take so much time. So it's really in our best interest to streamline as much as possible and remove any points of friction. That's like obvious, right? That's what every solopreneur tells you to think about. So yes, let's start by creating some office hours. Office hours mean that you can dive into your work when you need to. They don't necessarily mean that that's when you're working, just when you're available to interact with clients. So work hours encourage clients to prepare their ish. Okay? I once had a client who used to email me occasionally just like at 8 o'clock at night with something that she really needed first thing the next morning. And when she realized that I stood by my office hours and I was not going to get her what she needed right away, she started planning her projects way in advance so that she could guarantee that she would have what she needed from me. That's the beauty in setting up boundaries, is you encourage your clients to work for you. Serving clients isn't necessarily about being at their beck and call. It's just about setting up those expectations that you consistently meet. But here's another thing. Preparing clients to work in your favor goes beyond setting office hours. You have to get your clients to embrace your workflow by telling them right off the bat how you work. There's no negotiating here and figuring out what works best every single time you onboard a client. The process is there, it's a given. It's a part of your workflow and there for them to follow. Most clients will not question a clearly defined process. They will question you and they will give you pushback when there isn't one defined for them. So let me give you an example of what I do in my business. My office hours are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday. I'm offline on Fridays. So sometimes I do work on things that I can't get done during the week. But honestly, sometimes I'm hanging out by the pool. Sometimes I'm grocery shopping. Sometimes I'm laying on the couch with my dog. I do not answer my emails or Asana or Trello or Slack or whatever you use. I don't answer them outside of those hours. This forces my clients to get their stuff together because, again, it is not my responsibility to accommodate my clients' poor planning. I do my best to get last-minute requests to them, but only within my work hours. I am able to do this because I set up those work expectations right off the bat. It's built into my contract, and my clients have to initial next to my work hours so that I can make sure that they've read them. It is built into my onboarding PDF that I send clients once they're booked. It is built into our onboarding call and our client project management system. It's also built into my email signature and auto reply. Now, let's take this a step even further. I'll give you a few more examples. My onboarding PDF is automated to send to clients as soon as they sign our project contract, and it outlines how I want projects to be organized. For us, that means using Asana and what the typical project turnaround is. It also outlines how we will communicate. It is clear in my PDF that during our onboarding call together, we will set up all of these things so that there are no questions and there are no doubts and everyone knows exactly what they're doing. Stand by the water cooler and collaborate with other departments. When you're a part of a bigger team, office chit-chat happens, and that's where people come together, grow friendships, and yes, surprisingly, they even get some work done. We often underestimate the power of the water cooler. We underestimate it to give us the information that we can actually act on and to build relationships that can lead to better work and better deliverables. It's not all gossip, you guys. It's actually helpful sometimes. So know the boss and know the employees. Talk to everyone. There's always a bit of a hierarchy of information in a group organization, and it often leads to miscommunication. There's also usually a hierarchy of skills, and it means that your services might not be used the way you intended. So what hangups or complaints are being voiced? And is there a way for you to address them in your role? The leader of an organization doesn't always know everything and doesn't always see those pain points. So don't step on any toes here or kick up any drama, but if your service could address and alleviate those pain points, it could be a really cool way to add some extra value, right? When you're a part of a bigger team, you know what function you play in the larger organization, and you know the greater purpose of the tasks handed down to you. So you have to know what the other branches of business are doing when you're providing a service to them. How can you leverage their work to make yours better or to make the business better? Do you really know the purpose of your assignment or the role that it plays in your client's business or life? Here are a few examples, again, from my business. I send out brand guidelines to business owners who may or may not pass them on to their team. So to work around this, I make the assets that I create more usable. So we might build in margin into our logo files, so designers don't have to reference the style guide every single time they use the logo. Or we might export all of our brand assets and every single brand color available so that it can be used in Canva by a virtual assistant. And so businesses aren't guessing on their brand colors instead of looking it up in the style guide. These are small little tweaks that, because we know how the business as a whole functions and how team members function, we can deliver that extra value. So imagine this. Imagine you're a virtual assistant who is asked to set up a new email onboarding series for your client. If you asked why this new onboarding series was created, you might gain insight into the greater marketing efforts and focus of the business. So you might be able to suggest that you help compile copy and schedule social media posts, driving people to that newsletter that you just helped set up. That's more paid work for you, and it increases the value of what you do. We do this a lot in our design business. So clients, for instance, will ask us for a new opt-in PDF. We have two choices. We can either design it and send it in, or we can stop for a second and ask some questions. What's the purpose of this lead magnet? Is there a way that I can improve on what's been given to me? We might be able to design the lead magnet, plus suggest that we improve some website pop-ups, plus design a landing page for the lead magnet that helps track clicks and keep people on the business website for longer. Here's one more example. We had a client last year who was handing down tasks for webinars and worksheets and courses and social media graphics, and we thought that they were all different products that she was offering. But it turns out that they were all part of a single sales funnel dedicated to promoting her top tier product. All we had to do was stand back and ask for a little more context. We had to just ask how she was marketing that product, and it let us create a more consistent and branded sales funnel for her. We were able to suggest website and landing page edits so that everything looked more professional and legitimate to match the price of her top tier product. We were able to design ads and Instagram story graphics that promoted that product. And now all of her products look like they belong together, and it looks like they all focus on the same theme. Okay, one more example. We just onboarded a new client who offhand mentioned that she'd like some end slates for her YouTube videos. Instead of just making a standard end slate with her logo and website as she suggested, we were able to take a look at her YouTube channel as a whole, and suggests remaking all of her video thumbnails to be consistent and eye-catching, as well as remaking all of her channel artwork. This means that we're able to improve on the entire user experience, not just a single deliverable. Her channel performs better because of our work together, and it makes it easier for us to share as a part of our portfolio because the entire product looks awesome. You can employ this even if you're a business-to-consumer provider as well. So just ask yourself, who are you being paid by versus who are you working with? A mom, for instance, might pay you to take family photos, but her kids hate it. So what can you do to make photo time more fun for the kids? The extra bonus about working collaboratively and thinking like this is that this is what leads to statistics and data that help you sell your services better and improve your work, and it gives your clients really specific things to put in a testimonial. This also leads to more work, which means you're not spending time and money trying to impress new people. You just have to maintain the loyalty of a client you already have and do amazing work for them. Be a finisher. Guys, I can't tell you how many freelancers I've worked with who do the work and then ghost me right before we wrap up, or who half-ass the rest of the project once the first draft is delivered. So define what the finish line looks like for each of your services. How many edits will you offer, and what kind of customer support are you going to offer once everything's finished? Here's a note here. None is not a good answer. Even if you charge for more fixes or refer out for in-depth services, you have to support the service you provided in some way. I have a friend whose service is in marketing strategy, and she tells her clients up front she is not going to help them deploy her advice. She'll create the marketing strategy, but it's up to the client to put it into motion and follow through. That works for her. It works because she defined the finish line and she set the expectation with her clients. She provides customer service by giving feedback once the strategy is deployed. If you're a web designer or a developer, it's not enough to send over the wireframes or the site login and then peace out before the client has had the chance to test everything and request edits. If you're an ad strategist, it's not enough to set up the ads and to get them running, but then not stick around to provide feedback on what is and isn't working. So edit yourself and make sure that your products work and then test them out. Then you have to stick around to make sure that your client is getting the same experience that you're getting and also getting what they expected to receive. Watch how your clients are using your services. Do they follow through or not? Do they take your advice? Do they use what they've been given? This is an indication of how you've prepared your clients to use your service, whether or not it's easy to use, whether or not they actually enjoy using it. In my business, this is how we came up with design retainers. It is our #1 product that we never have to sell. It's the reason why we are always booked at least 3 months out without any marketing on our part. We came up with this service because we saw businesses that had beautiful brands that they paid good money for, but none of the content or design that they were putting out matched the fancy logo or the fancy website. So we came up with a service that capitalized on how other designers weren't supporting their clients once the service was finished. This is also how we came up with our brand check-ins. It's our #1 selling point and one of our most unique positioning factors in a really crowded brand design marketplace. So for us, for all of our branding clients, after that service is finished, we schedule a 3-month check-in and a 6-month check-in. And they're both designed to help our clients work through any pain points that they have and to provide feedback on designs that they're creating themselves using the assets that we made for them. So we want them to come to us if they're ever experiencing any pain points, to come to us for solutions. Set up reviews. Most of us who came from larger teams might be familiar with quarterly reviews, one-on-ones, exit interviews. These are crucial to your solopreneur life too, you guys. The most important part of making sure that your services are working is to ask for feedback. Now, this might make you incredibly nervous. I don't blame you. But if you've built it into your workflow and if you create an expectation of open communication, you guys, it's going to feel so easy and really constructive. We subtly ask for client feedback at every single step of our workflow, even before clients book with us. So during our first inquiry call, we ask them about their past experiences with designers. We ask them what their hopes are for our working relationship. Then, as we're working on our project, we're always double checking that our communication is clear and we're asking if the process is meeting their expectations. And then once the project is over, that's when we're going to ask them for specific examples about our project to make sure that we're getting honest and really thorough feedback. This is where the best testimonials come from. Feedback is crucial, but it only works, it only does its job if you ask the right questions and then do something about it. If you get constructive feedback and then make the fix for the next person down the line. So make sure that you sign up for my freebie below this video. I put together a feedback checklist for you that spells out when to ask for feedback, what questions are most effective, and then how to frame those questions so that they feel like a really natural part of your communication and your workflow. Client feedback has helped us make so many small but so many meaningful improvements to our services. Our brand style guides now include color combinations and type combinations. They provide added guidance on how to use our deliverables after we're finished working together. And it all started with our very first branding client who said, I kind of wish I had this and I was a little confused when you gave me something that didn't include that guidance. Now everyone gets it. We've also started building in work expectations and those weekly check-ins and updates with our clients, the ones who might have a lot of project downtime. We did that so that they always felt taken care of and top of mind. We also created quick guides for reviewing design items, so clients who felt unprepared to evaluate a design, who aren't familiar with the process, so that they could feel equipped and empowered to discuss the product with us. All of that came out of asking, does this make sense to you? Do you feel confident communicating with us? These small improvements add up over the course of your work relationship. They reduce friction and they eliminate this kind of, I'm not sure feeling that can kind of act like a cancer to your project sometimes. And trust me, asking for feedback, it doesn't have to be scary or difficult. It can be as casual as an email check-in or as formal as a post-project survey. It all really depends on the type of project you're working on and how long you've been working with your client. So again, make sure you get that freebie below this video so that you can figure out how to incorporate feedback into the types of services you provide and into the communication that you already have with your client. Sometimes in the solopreneur world, working a 9-to-5 almost gets a bad rap, but there are some really meaningful things that we can take from that workplace culture and bring it into our freelance culture. They're the things that are going to help you stand apart because they're almost devalued when we look at solopreneur work life and when we look at some of the things that we think are most important to doing our most efficient work. The way I think of it, this is all about communicating and it's all about doing more of the stuff that you're passionate about. When you employ these 5 takeaways and these 5 lessons that I've learned from working at a 9-to-5, it means that you actually get to do more of what you're passionate about. It means that you're not spending all of your time trying to search for the next client, trying to find the next paycheck. It means that you get to do the stuff that you love with clients who really value you and who you start building a really wonderful working relationship with. That's where the magic sauce happens, is when you've got that great relationship and you've got the creativity flowing and you can do your service job in a way that makes you so, so happy. So I hope that you walk away with some great tips. I hope that you feel like you've got the freedom to do this business your way just by asking for a little bit of feedback along the way. Make sure you get that freebie, and thank you so much for spending this time with me today.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us during that session. I know you got some major takeaways, and we definitely want to hear about those. So make sure you're taking a quick picture of your notes, or you're making a little quote of your number one thing you took away from Nicole's talk today. Be sure to tag Nicole and us both over on Instagram. We're at Boss Project, and you're at Nicole A. Yang, correct?
Correct.
All right.
And before you leave, though, you guys need to make sure that you're grabbing your All Access Pass below if you haven't already, but also be sure to snag Nicole's freebie. It's a feedback checklist. Nicole, can you tell us a little bit about why that thing's awesome?
Yeah, so one of the best things that you can do is to make sure that you're asking feedback from your clients at the right moments, but to also make sure that you're asking the right questions so that you can actually improve on the services that you're offering. So get that feedback checklist, get all the details. No matter what kind of service you're offering, there should be some really great takeaways on how to make sure that you are always upgrading and improving.
I love it. Nicole, thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you in the next session.